You're listening to the Level Best Network.
Do I have to do my chair dance again?
This is the INTERCOT Insider Live.
Take two.
Take two. Ian, do the chair dance thing. It was really good. There we go. The INTERCOT Insider Live is brought to you by Magical Journeys, INTERCOT's official travel agency and the Disney vacation experts. I still can't get it right. And also brought to you by the official ticket center for tickets to your favorite Central Florida theme parks and attractions at discounted rates. All right. We're live now.
Are we though?
Live.
Are we
Like,
though?
are we
really
really though?
I mean, that's questionable.
We tried this a minute ago.
We thought we were
We
live.
could have done the whole 2 hours.
I mean, you guys
and,
really
like,
missed some really great.
crap.
It could have been one of those lost episode things.
Yep.
Again,
Might be.
like we've had in the past. You know, it could be sad. But indeed, on the page, it shows we are live. So for those of you who don't know, with all this build-up here, we do a Facebook live show, and then we push the audio out to our channel on iTunes. So if you're wondering how this gets recorded now, that's how it is. So if you're not seeing it on the Facebook, then you're missing out on some of the video.
There we are live. I see it.
All right. You're missing out on Ian doing the overbite.
White man's overbite.
Yep. There you go. And the thumbs up. And
Yeah.
Q-tip.
The thumbs up.
Q-tip. And what is that? What is that from?
Yeah.
Hitch, the movie Hitch?
And top quality chair dancing.
Yeah. It's very good stuff. So welcome aboard. This is the holiday edition of the INTERCOT Insider Live, where Ian sings Christmas carols for an episode.
Oh, holy night.
Yeah, I'll play my iPod into the microphone and lip sync.
God rest ye merry gentlemen.
Oh, come, all you fools.
Rocking around the Christmas tree.
The Christmas party. Oh, Carolyn's got the thumbs going.
All right. Good stuff.
We've
Yeah,
got
we're a little
every watcher that we had.
It is, yeah, exactly. It is the end of the year, and you know we're kind of taking a look back at some stuff that's gone on. We're
Retrospective, if you
going to try and take a look forward, and
The flashback episode.
it is kind of, and also
do some dream sequences.
throughout the episode, please feel free to comment, to ask questions, to add your own special spin on the show. We love our listener and user comments. So be sure and do that. So what are you laughing at? What did I say?
You said we love our listener.
Like
There's only
one.
one.
I mean, yeah, let's hashtag
Hi,
for,
Patty.
hashtag for reals.
Hey, how you doing, Patty? Good to see you again.
All right. So we just coming off the Rise of the Resistance media event for you guys. Ian and I managed to miss each other, even though we were at Disney World at the same time somehow. Tried to make it happen. It just couldn't come
Ships
together.
passing in the night, John.
I know. I did get to see my parents while I was down there. So
Well, that's more important.
they were very happy about that. Yeah.
We were going to
it was
stop
either
at your
my
place
parents.
on the way home for lunch, actually. We were like right at Hilton Head for lunch. I was like, maybe I'll call John, see if he wants to meet us for lunch. But then I decided not to, and we just kept driving.
Oh, well, that was nice.
Yeah, it's like 20 miles out of the way. It is.
It's actually, it's about 30 minutes off the exit.
Yeah,
so.
that's too much time, you know.
There is that. So, and then, you know, out back, that's an hour, then an hour for lunch. And
I mean,
we got to get on the road.
It's
Get back
not
to-
worth.
It's
You're
not
not worth that
worth
kind of
it.
an investment of time. I did get a ticket. I did get a ticket in your fine state of South Carolina.
Oh, did you?
I appreciate
Ouch.
it.
What'd you do? What
Well
were you doing?
deserved. Well deserved, I might add.
What were you doing? What was your-
84 and a 70.
Oof.
Kids had to go to the bathroom. You know how that is.
Did you
But
try
you're-
that excuse?
I did not. Actually, I was just very candid. I said, I apologize. I know I was going too fast. I'm really sorry. Bad decision. And so he very kindly wrote me if I remembered his name, I would thank him publicly. But he very kindly wrote me a ticket only for 5 miles an hour over the speed limits.
Oh, okay.
I got some Southern hospitality from
Well,
South
that's not too
Carolina
bad.
Farm.
I mean, you could have,
Like
you know, short of,
$78.
yeah, short of him letting you go.
Yeah, they got
that's
video
about the
now.
best you're going to get.
They can't really let
Do you
go.
have demerit points in America?
We do, but not. I won't get any from
From just
South
that?
Carolina to Pennsylvania. Like
Oh,
it's
I
pretty
see.
much
Not
only. If
reciprocal.
Yeah, it only happens like if you're in like a neighboring state. Usually they'll get you.
Oh, I get you.
Won't be a problem.
But-
Oh, that's good.
No, sometimes they let you go.
Yeah, you got to get kind of lucky.
It depends. I blew through a stop sign the other day by accident, and they pulled me over and actually let me go.
Yeah, I have a lot. I
With a
find
warning.
in my home state. Yeah, I have a very clean driving record. I really don't ever get pulled over. So here, if I get stopped, they almost always let me go. But I-95 cops, they're like there to generate.
That's a whole different thing.
They're there to generate revenue. So like,
That's a whole different level of
yeah.
police work out there going
right.
on.
But I appreciate the work that they do keeping our highways safe. Thank you to our
Officer,
our law enforcement community. And yes, if I remembered your name, I would. Anyway,
well, I mean, when you've got 18 kids in the back of the van, I mean,
yeah,
That's a lot of names.
it's hard to get it to go 84 miles an hour with all that. Really takes some time.
come on, Bessie, get going. It's
Kids, get out and push.
good thing we don't have any mountains in South Carolina.
No,
Yeah.
downhill the whole way. Actually.
Pretty much. So,
Very nice.
yes. So back from Rise of the Resistance Media event, we won't go too much over that, other than we can talk about opening day and things like that, because the last podcast we did from Coronado Springs live, we went over pretty much in great detail what the ride is all about.
Yeah, minute by minute.
Yeah.
But
But
you were there for a media event, and the
Right.
ride has since opened to the
Mhm.
public.
Yeah.
And there's boarding groups, and it's
So-
a little bit crazy.
yeah, so I will say just to preface this, I mean, I went to the media event, and other than in the package of information, we kind of get like a fact sheets of all the different stuff that's going on wherever, not only for the ride that we were there for, but also things that are going on around the resort, new things that are coming, things that are opening up, blah, 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 all that, assuming that some of the media just isn't there all the time or doesn't cover this.
You get mainstream media at those events that, they don't cover Disney World. They're just, ABC, CBS, and they're just, they need that kind of.
They need the fact sheets and then, to refer to later on. But other than being in those fact sheets, I had zero clue, as evidenced by the fact that when we did the last podcast, Sam from Disney Nerds had to correct me on the whole boarding group thing because I mentioned being in standby, and he's like, "There is no standby. Don't you read your friend stuff?" I'm like, "No,
no,
I'm too busy." Like,
I read it.
It's very impressive that he did, but the fact is, so they're doing now this thing called boarding groups, which is, I mean, totally foreign to anything I've ever done at Walt Disney World before. So apparently, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, you show up at the park. You have to be geographically, probably geolocated via your cell phone or whatever, within a certain distance of the front gate.
Yep.
Or in the park. And then you request to be in a boarding group via the app or in person via there's a place you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, remember, I've seen that. So for folks who don't have cell phones, there has to be a way for them to do it.
Like the little kiosks.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. And then you get assigned a boarding group. The problem the park's been opening really early.
Yeah.
Like earlier than you think they're going to open.
Yeah, like even earlier than they say they're going to open.
Yeah.
Like the one day I know the open time was at 7 a.m. I think for early opening, and they said that the boarding groups were all gone by like 6:20 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, would you really think about it? You only need to be there. It doesn't say the park has to be open. You just have to be physically in the location. So once they release that boarding group, I guess if you're there, you can sign up for it. And if people are lining up that early. But
the problem is, by doing that, of course, now let's just say you're Joe Mom and Pop from, Midwest Ohio. And I'm saying that because I'm wearing
I was going to say,
yeah. So shout out to the Dayton Flyers, number 14 in the country. Go Flyers. but if you're there, you don't go to the parks regularly. You're not really tuned into the Diz Twitter and Diz,
Right.
Facebook, and
Nor should
everything.
you have to be, by the way,
Right.
to have a successful vacation.
Right.
Or quite frankly, even
have a
just looking at the
PhD.
website, I don't think they're right now explaining you need to show up 2 hours before the scheduled
Well,
opening time to
Yeah,
get
the
in.
problem is they don't really know, right? Like they don't
Right.
know when people are going to show up, I guess. I mean, but you would
Right.
think, like, don't they know when the parking lot's open? Like, my guess is,
Right.
although maybe not. I don't know. Can you get it from the road out in front of? You might be able to.
I don't know.
Well, but
you
then
figure
people
the
are
back-
coming from their buses and the Skyliner and stuff.
Right.
But my
here's-
point is, though, I don't know when they release the boarding passes to the app.
Okay,
right?
so that is the thing.
That's
right?
the thing, yeah.
This is where I was going to go with this. Is that so? Yeah, right now they're obviously releasing it way prior
before
to
the- for sure.
park opening.
Okay, so to clarify, go back to Joe and Mary Lunchbucket from Ohio that don't
I
know
like
what's going on.
That's even better than what I had.
Introducing the
Mary
lunch
Lunch
bucket
Bucket.
family.
Lunch
Okay,
Bucket.
I'm going to read
What are
you like
the,
a
what are
really
the Lunch Bucket's kids' names? Because
Mary Beth
Mary.
and Little
There's
Timmy.
definitely a little
Well,
John.
it could be Little Joe.
Oh, true, Junior.
Little
Joey
Joe
Long.
Jr.
Okay,
Joey Jr.
I'm going to read you kind of a little synopsis of what you
By
do.
the way, no offense intended to people from Ohio.
No, I get
No,
what's cool there.
I'm
I
just
love-
saying,
I
like,
love
just
the
some
Ohio people.
random
It just-
family.
I just picked Midwest, somebody who knows nothing about
Plus,
Disney.
you said Dayton, so that had Ohio in my head.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so you join the virtual queue, also called a boarding group.
Right.
You launch your My Disney Experience app, and you can do it right now if you're at home and you have the app on your phone. If you open it right now, there's a little part, like right on the very front page, that says "Find out more," and right underneath where it says "Star Wars: Rise of the Resistance," accessed by boarding group. Click on
Right.
the "Find out more,"
Right.
and then a page comes up. It's going to tell you the current land status, meaning like, can people just come in and look around the land? If it
Right.
says open,
Yeah.
come on in. You might not get on a ride, but you can go have a nice glass of blue milk and you're great.
Right.
Then it'll say underneath that, now boarding groups 10 to 12.
Mhm. Yeah. Here,
Um,
let me see if we can. That's not going to show up, is it?
Your camera's just
Yeah, it's not
too-
not white balanced enough. Yeah, there you go. We can see yours a little bit.
a little better. Back up a little
It's
bit.
back up just a tad.
how's
That's
that?
good enough.
Kind of. Well,
Okay.
we're
This
getting the
high-tech
idea. It says
facility.
open.
That's
group
the idea.
10 through
Okay.
12,
Yeah.
whatever.
So then it'll say groups 10 through 12. Now, if you're like, well, I'm going to roll the dice and see if I can get one, there's a big orange button that says join boarding group.
Right.
Now mine is not orange. Is yours orange currently?
No, I'm getting
Mine
this off
is-
of another
is-
website.
Grayed out and
Oh, she
So
was just-
yours
she
is
was
grayed
telling
out
you.
because there's
because
no
there's
more
no
left.
boarding groups. Yeah, right. Okay.
Right.
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 And you can only do it on the day of. You can't join a
Right.
boarding group for tomorrow. It's the day.
But I
that
think that's
day.
where we're getting to. What's the definition of tomorrow? Is it 12 a.m. in 1 second? Is that tomorrow when they?
No,
release
you
one for the
have.
next
It
day?
has to be like when they're like, "All right, boys, let's open the gates and let these people in."
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's not the case
But
because
we don't.
know for a fact that the boarding groups are gone before the gates open.
No, what we're saying is they might advertise that the park opens at 8 a.m., but
Right.
they're wink, wink, nudge, nudge, opening it because I've
But
talked
that's
to
not-
people that are showing up at like 6 a.m. and they're like, "Oh crap, we got in."
But that's
Well,
not
yeah,
what I read. What I
Right.
read was that people were there before the park opened, and there were no boarding groups left.
So I think where
That's
the
what people
confusion
were complaining about.
Well, I think where the confusion may be, Ian, is that people are saying they're getting there before the park opening, and basically the boarding groups are out
Yeah,
or
they're
whatever.
gone.
Yeah.
But,
So-
there were people
but
that I
I-
saw that were not. They weren't getting into the park. Like they were
Right.
there
I
before
didn't
the
see
park
that.
actually opened.
So I'm just reading this from a website that is sort of giving like, this is how you do it, and it says there's a screenshot, and this picture is a screenshot of the guy's phone, and it's got a notification on his phone that says your boarding group has been called. Please return to the entrance in Star Wars.
Right.
And It says, note, this screenshot was taken immediately after we entered the virtual queue. We were inside the park at 6:06 a.m. on a morning that Disney's Hollywood Studios officially opened at 8 a.m.
Right. So there's my point. Okay. Joe and Mary Lunchbucket from Ohio show up, and they get to the park maybe early, even like at 7:30, half an hour before they open to start, and they log onto the app because they're big Star Wars. Their kids can't wait to see the Star Wars thing, and they're big fans. And they log onto the app and they go, "Well, there's no more availability for this."
Well, I mean, but really, you probably have a problem even before that because odds are they may not even know they needed a boarding group. They may just think like everybody else.
Well, they may just come in and go to the
show up
go on the ride. Yeah.
Well, let's assume
how every other theme park works.
I mean that could be too. And then the furthermore, then the disappointment sets in that I can't even wait. Like even if I want to wait,
exactly.
Like 3 hours.
I would stand in line for 8 hours.
Right.
Let me do it. No, you can't. Sorry.
We can't. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And then so I don't think later in the day they haven't opened up additional boarding groups, have they?
Nope.
Oh, they're gone. I mean, they know what the capacity of the attraction.
Oh, I know. Like but I figured
we haven't even touched on the fact that half the time it doesn't work, and then all these people that had boarding groups can't go on, and then they end up in boarding groups the next day, which means less people get on, and it's like this. You're going to end up with a whole day's worth of boarding passes that are just people from other days that never were able to get on the ride.
Yeah, it's the truth. So
I don't know if it's down half the time, but certainly they are having seriously having a problem, and this was confirmed by somebody I talked to there that they were having a problem with wireless signals, which just seems like the craziest thing. Like, I mean, this is not new technology. That the wireless or the trackless technology that they're using, they use it in other.
It's been used in Tokyo Disney Sea for it's got to be close to 20
years.
The
question is maybe because in the U.S. the frequency bands or something. Who knows?
I mean, if somebody in engineering missed that, somebody needs to be fired because that's ridiculous.
Well, the problem is
what an oversight that is.
They haven't been able to address it yet. I mean, even at the grand opening, they were still having issues.
Well, they may not be able to address it without taking the ride offline, and they probably don't want to do that.
Well, the question is, I haven't seen since
somebody's already lost their job because of a botched Star Wars park opening. So I don't think anybody else wants to line up to be the next one.
Right. So I haven't seen, but the question is, are they still making users put the phones into airplane mode?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Okay.
What I can tell you, so once you do, if you're lucky enough to get a boarding group, then you will get a notification on your phone saying, okay, please make your way down.
That was going to be my question. So do you get a proactive notification?
Yes.
Because I have
you can enable a notifications or you can refresh it yourself.
That's what I mean. Would you have to walk around the park like, hope my
No, you should get the it says if you don't enable notifications, you'll need to incessantly refresh or check the My Status screen on the My Disney Experience app or digital signage in the park to see when you're up. Because if you're in group 10, then you can see and be like, no, they're only up to group 8 right now.
Where's the rest of Carolyn's name, John?
I don't know.
She's only Carolyn Pongracz.
How about that?
Much better.
Oh, yeah. You can call me that. That's fine. Then it says once your virtual queue boarding group is called, you'll have up to 2 hours to enter the physical line for Rise of the Resistance. So it's calling you up, but you've got 2 hours. Like maybe you're in another ride, and then you've got lunch reservations.
Right,
but you've got 2 hours to get your.
Well, that's a good question, though. So I guess you don't really know when you have no idea. It's not like a fast pass where you come back.
It does tell you a rough thing. Like it does tell you. Hang on, how did they word it? Estimated wait morning. It says so. Like sometime this morning we should be called. So then,
it's like waiting for the Comcast guy to get here.
So technical marvel to do this. Then you walk up to the Rise of the Resistance entrance, and you'll find a bunch of cast members with iPads, and they will scan your Magic Band or your park ticket, like your card. And then you can stand in the line, and you don't really know how long that line's going to be, but that's just to get you into the line.
Right, into the line. Then you got to wait in line, right?
Right.
Now, do we have a sense for how long that wait is once your boarding group's been called? Like, how long do you have to wait from then?
I have been hearing all different times. I've been hearing like 20 minutes to 2 hours to 1 hour to whatever. It's
well,
all
I guess it depends on if they have any breakdowns.
right.
I
Now,
mean,
if there is a breakdown,
people
have been getting evacuated, and then on the first day, they were down for quite a while, and didn't they like kicked everybody out of the ride in the lineup, and then because it was such a hubbub, they gave everybody a 1-day park
pass, park hopper, yep.
Well, they don't have to
and like a golden fast pass to like forget it all, just come.
Well, you figure you almost have to, because what if you got a guy who's got a 4-day park hopper and his day in the studios was the last day of his park hopper, and he wants to ride Rise of Resistance and it goes down. And, he can't. He's just out of luck. They almost have to give you another pass, because you can't. It's not like you're going to get on it that day.
Hopefully, he's not flying home the next day.
He's not flying. Yeah, well, if he is, I guess But I saw a couple people get free. I saw somebody posting they got free something else free. Was it a night? Was it a hotel night or something? I thought I saw.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. They complain that much?
I don't know. Maybe I may be wrong. I may be thinking.
I suppose anything's possible. But
I may be thinking of the free passes. I don't know, but I remember thinking like, oh, that's more than just a free, a free fast pass to come back, which is what you usually get on the ride.
Another thing that I heard, and I maybe we'll see whether you all have heard this as well, is that the capacity of this ride isn't being utilized because of these boarding groups, and that there are actually times where they're not fully loading cars and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, that may too.
Isn't it supposed to hold 1,800 people?
I mean, it's got a pretty good throughput.
I thought the throughput was among the higher. I thought I read it was on the higher end of.
But because of the way that things are being done with these boarding groups, I've heard rumblings that basically seats are going unused. At times.
I mean, you got to figure though, they may not want to put it under full load right out of the gate while they're kind of working the bugs out of it.
That's possible.
Maybe that's part of the rationale.
Or does it make sense at some point to actually have a standby line?
Well, my guess is they will.
Or a single rider line type thing. Where,
I would think they will eventually, do that. But I think that's why I wonder right now if they're not just very cautiously managing the load on the attraction so that they can work it.
I don't doubt that.
I mean, if they have an issue with the trackless ride system, you don't want a car full of people running off into the scenery. And, I mean, like maybe less people in the car.
Story though.
I'm sure there's some protocols.
They had a Skyliner accident. I mean, if they can have that happen, why can't they? I'm sure
there's some protocols. If it loses contact
like
with
the protocols for when the Skyliner crashed and those people got stuck for like 2.5 hours because nobody had the right ladder or whatever the problem was.
Okay, grumpy. All right, grumpy guy.
Grandpa.
Well, I don't like the Skyliner. I'm anti-Skyliner.
Did you ride on it?
No, like you couldn't pay me to get in that crash.
I got to tell you, the last time I was there, I was jonesing to get on it, and I was.
Now you know what? Honestly, I'll be very honest. I have in my old age, which is very disappointing.
Fear of heights?
No, I have a really out of nowhere claustrophobia, like big time. I get like a little antsy even on the monorail these days. Like it's very bizarre. I tell you, I got trapped on the runway. I'm telling you, it's the freakiest thing, man.
You travel a lot too.
No, I haven't recently, but I did for a while. And I got trapped on the runway one time in this tiny little commuter jet in Toronto. Sorry, Carolyn. And it was like 95 degrees out, and they turned the engines off, and there was no air conditioning, and it was like brutally hot. And it was a tiny regional jet, and we were just trapped in there. And I like basically freaked out. Like I did. I jumped up out of my seat, and they're like, "Sir, like you can't be out of your seat." I'm like, "Look, that's it. Like I'm getting out of my seat." I did. The stewardess is like,
"This is happening."
The stewardess. I'm literally up in the stewardess thing there where she is, and I'm like, I'm freaking out. Like you got to open the door. She's like, I can't open the door. I'm like, I don't know, but you got to do something. She's like feeding me drinks. Here.
There you go. Here,
like, whatever.
Have a scotch and soda.
I even have problems on the rides.
Do you?
Like, yeah, it's really weird. It's gotten like very bizarre. Like I was on. Jimmy Horn says I was pretty worried about the Skyliner, but really liked it and rode it multiple times during my last trip. I mean, maybe in December would be the time to do it when it's not super hot. But I mean, I can tell you right now, if I got trapped on that thing and it was 100 degrees outside, I'd bust the glass. Jump.
Jump.
Yeah.
I'm out. Well, the windows are already open in there. So
Okay, well, then
I don't know what busting the glass
have to
would
bust the
do,
glass
because you're not going
Pry
to
open
jump
the door.
down from there. But
I would just jump. Take my chances.
Hans Gruber.
That's a Christmas movie.
I'll wave to you while you go Hans Grubering out of the. Perfect. They're illustrating Hans Gruber. If you
yeah, sorry
watching us.
for those on the audio side. Of
Hey, that's a
things.
Christmas
We just
movie. It's relevant.
Yes, that's right. That's why I
It
said it.
is.
Anyway,
There's a big debate over that. But anyway, so
That's why
Yeah.
I wouldn't ride the Skyline.
to getting back to the original point, way around. I still think it's a little odd. We don't know exactly when these boarding groups are being open.
Yeah.
So if they said, okay, well, I just would like a little more clarity. Like, so if I'm at the parks and I'm a visitor to the parks, okay, look, because of the crowds, studios are going to be open at 7:00 tomorrow. Great.
Yeah.
You're going to be
Or
able
if
to
they
get.
said-
Guess what?
if they said
You
5
can-
a.m. That's
Right,
fine.
whatever.
Just
And you
tell us.
can line up starting at 6:00 for boarding groups
Right,
there.
yeah. Exactly.
Then I'm good, because you've told me what it takes in order to get my ticket. This guessing game is a little bit what I have a problem with. And let me tell you, it's a fantastic ride, and I would probably wait a couple hours.
Oh yeah, I would too. I mean, I don't even, you know me, I don't even wait, but I would wait for that. Like I would wait.
Right.
I'd
It's
wait
worth
4
it.
hours to see.
It's worth it. It's a good ride, and it's a long experience, and it's very well done.
That's why I'm like. That's why I'd be willing to wait. I think it's not like waiting 6 hours to get on, Slinky Dog Dash that lasts like
Right.
90 seconds. I mean, it's an experience. It's a long, so
Right.
I would be willing to wait for that. But
Right.
yeah, that opportunity doesn't exist.
Agreed. So yeah, I mean that's.
I'm sure they'll work the kinks out. I mean, it does surprise me they don't think these things out more in advance. It really seems like the link between sort of Imagineering or whatever passes for that
And
these days
logistics.
and operations is just not very good. And so.
Well, I mean, I think look, it is a hugely technologically advanced. I completely screwed that up, but you know what I'm saying. It's way up on the technical meter as far as the whole show and the way it fits together and the different elements and the different ride systems and all that. So I don't doubt that it's going to take a while to work out the kinks, as Ian says. I mean, it's kind of expected. Should they have waited a little while longer? Maybe. I don't know. But at some point, you got to get these things out
Well,
there.
I don't know if they need to wait or if they just need to start the operational handoff much sooner. They knew what the ride system was and how it was going to work
Right.
5 years ago, probably. So it's a little bit. I just don't. I mean, again, I don't know.
I don't know how that stuff works.
But I just feel like
honestly.
the relationship between sort of the ride development people and the operations people seems poor to me. So I know there's sort of bitterness between the two groups because the Imagineers feel like operations never maintains their attractions the way they should, and the operations people feel like Imagineering builds rides that are impossible to maintain for any reason. So I just don't think they get along very well. So maybe the dynamic there is not that great, and they just maybe they dump it in their lap and they're like, good luck, and then they leave. I don't know. So maybe they kind of have to figure it out on the fly.
I don't know.
We both know that the mandates, on when these things have to open, I'm sure, are very, very aggressive, and so I'm sure they don't have an optimal amount of time to work through everything.
Well, I mean, I think as I do, having worked on big projects before, and how deadlines and timelines
absolutely,
slip, and just stuff comes up.
And I never worked on anything as complicated as this.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically Disney even themselves sort of admitted, like, look, we kind of, this is like all new technology. We just kind of had to make it up to build this thing.
Right.
So I mean, I think they went way out, and it sounds like they got a home run. I think they'll just.
Oh, they did.
They'll
Without
iron
a
out
doubt.
the operational problems, I'm sure, and it'll be fine. But it
Yeah.
might take a while. I would think you're going to see issues for, depending on how long it takes them to sort the technical problems, maybe 6 to 12 months, but hopefully less than that.
Yeah, I think it might be less, but I mean, we'll kind of
They've
see.
got 3 weeks till I show up. Get on it.
Is that when we'll be there?
That's their deadline.
We have no hope of riding that ride while we're there, do we?
I'll get up. I'll get up at 5 a.m. Go there.
But how's that going to work? Because we have races and stuff.
Well, you don't have races every day.
Yeah. I'll cheer for.
Well, we do have
like
races
half,
every day.
and I'm running on the 10.
We
But I might go.
we don't have anyone running the full, do we?
No.
Oh, there you go. There's a free day.
There you go.
Full
Or
day.
I was maybe gonna sneak out during the 5K. 5K people they'll be fine without.
Do we know anybody? Do we actually have anybody running in the half this year?
I thought you were running the half.
No, he's doing the 10, and
You're
that's
doing
it.
the 10K. That's right.
I was supposed to do the 10 and the marathon, which, by the way, if y'all haven't seen, I'm not doing the marathon this year. We put that off till 2021. I will do it then. So just
You need more time.
essentially, yeah.
It was a lot to take on.
I mean, John, that's a big thing. Like you're acting like, you should be able to just go run a marathon. Like not many people do that.
Pretty much.
No, you're 52 years old and you've never done it before. That's a big.
No, I found a good article online about how to survive a marathon. And that's pretty much all I
know.
do.
I have a foolproof way for surviving marathons.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You'll survive every
You
time.
will survive 100% of the time. Just like my other theory. If you never go in the ocean, you will never be eaten by a shark.
This is true. So the only thing I was upset about is that I wanted to do something on a longer scale. So I really wanted to fall back to do the half, and I hadn't registered for it. And
right.
Even with my connections at Disney, they were pretty much like,
you couldn't find any that
were sold out.
I mean,
you could run for a charity or something
Yeah.
like that, but there's like at least a $500 to $1,000 minimum fundraise for most of those.
what's the entrance fee normally, though?
And
100 and something.
I think it's more than that. But
Dude, you could raise $500 in your sleep. Come on.
yeah, but I don't have the time to do that in the next
Put it on
15
your
days.
Facebook page. Just hit the promote button every 5
I don't have time.
When I was going to do it the one time,
too much
when
pressure.
I raised it in. We raised it in like 3 weeks or something.
Much like you're saying, Ian, had I planned on this about a month ago,
Yeah.
I would have done that and I would have been fine. I could have raised $500 or $1,000. I'm sure we've done it. We've done it in the past, and
we raised a lot more than that in the past.
yeah, exactly. I mean, so bottom line is just I didn't have enough time to be able to do that, and so
It's a tough time of the year too with the holidays.
unless they throw
and you
back
doing the
in,
light
I know
show.
it's really that actually is what it came down to, is that I'm traveling a ton for work. I've got like this huge project going on there. I've got my Yaglenski family dancing holiday light spectacular going on,
which is a major commitment in and of itself.
in the front yard. Yeah. And then, just add in all the other stuff, like family, friends coming to visit and stuff along that.
Christmas shopping,
Yeah,
decorating,
Christmas I mean, it's
plans. I mean, all that
it's
stuff.
a crazy time. And of course, I asked the Disney rep, I was like, so, I'd rather do a marathon at some other time of the year. They were like, oh, well, that's the only time we do a marathon. I was like, oh, really? The rest are all halves. I didn't realize that until
It didn't used to be, I think. I think they used to do them a lot, but then I guess because I swear I was at one in October or something where they did a marathon.
Really? I don't know. I don't know. But that's it. So yeah, if you're going to do a marathon at Disney, and that's the only place I want to do one, you've got to do it in January. So there you have it. Yeah. Anyway, other stuff from the Rise of the Resistance media event. I did want to cover real quickly a few things, and there are some. I could do some spoilers here. I could do a spoiler. So
No, spoilers. It's too early for spoilers.
no, this is it? I can do it.
We spoiled the whole ride last
No,
week.
I can't spoil the whole ride because I don't have all the details. Before we go into spoiler, and I'll warn you to tune out for a minute, and then you can come back. But we did hard hat tours of Ratatouille, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and then also did a preview of the Beauty and the Beast sing-along, which is swapping out, I guess, alternating.
For those of you not watching this, Ian is rolling his eyes and like falling asleep.
It's alternating with impressions de France. Okay, so
are they getting a new film for that? I thought I heard they were getting a new film for that.
Yeah, they are.
but
They are in Canada.
haven't
Well,
yet. No.
Canada needs one.
Tell me
Yeah.
about it. Martin Short.
Marty Short, a little older.
I don't find him funny anyway, so.
I was never a big Martin Short fan either. So,
So Eugene Levy, maybe
he's going to be he is the new guy, Eugene Levy. Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
Jim's dad.
So let's real quick. Ratatouille, essentially a clone of Paris, but we saw some architectural drawings of the walking back to the attraction, which is going to kind of wrap around the side of the France pavilion, and then
the right side or the left side?
Like
the right
along
side,
the water.
like along the water, right across from where the skyline is.
That's kind of a nice area to go.
Yeah, and actually, then it's going to go. There's going to be a big alleyway where apparently it transitions from the traditional French architecture to the
whimsical.
I don't know if they call it something. Yeah, but crookery. They call it, which is basically the crookedness, the angles, the lines. Like things are going to get much more cartoony as you get down to the end of the Ratatouille world, which is really cool. The ride vehicles looked really good. The scale of the thing, you're obviously shrunk down to the size of a rat, and the things are huge. We went up to a point where there was a fridge with giant meat and cheeses in it, and it was it's like a 42 ton ham, 42 ton ham hanging from the ceiling or something like that. But that was cool. The Beauty and the Beast sing along didn't get to comment much on this. They retell the story really quickly from LeFou's.
Let me tell you what it is. I've never heard of it. I don't have any idea. I can tell you exactly what it is.
Here we go.
It's the Frozen sing-along, only with Beauty and the Beast.
Isn't that what they had at...
Did they retell the Frozen story from somebody else's perspective?
Yeah, they sure do.
Well, not from somebody else's perspective. They do.
It's the two... No, it's not. There's
like the two little...
It's the two random host people.
All right, so this is a bit of a spoiler if you're going to go see this, but I figure this is a small enough thing that nobody really
plus
cares.
Everybody knows the movie.
You do, but so what happened is LeFou then tells it from his point of view, and some of the stuff that happened in the movie, he claims to have caused rather than the way things...
The way actually...
Like he's
the way you know it, like you shift your paradigm, change the camera angle, and suddenly you find that he's hiding over here doing stuff that caused this to happen.
Why am I not knowing who LeFou is? Why
am
I drawing?
Gaston.
Is that his little troll guy? All right.
And Beauty and the Beast is a French fairy tale. LeFou
means the fool. Yes, the fool.
Yeah. Yep. So that is what you did. Odd though that we saw it, and it was like in 4:3 or like 16:9 in a widescreen theater. Like, so we were like,
oh, it's a movie.
Is it going to open up? Like,
okay. So it's not like the Frozen sing-along. The Frozen sing-along is live characters. I thought.
No, this is the movie. So this is kind of like what did the Disney sing-along songs like that you used to get on the videotape?
On the little on the VHS.
Back in the day. Oh God, I'm old. So we used to have. We used to have all of those. Our kids love those things, man.
My oldest was really into them too.
Yep. So bottom line, they do that, but it's like the curtains never open up any wider, and you're just sitting there like.
But it's in the Circle Vision Theater.
Like it's in the the France one is like a half.
Oh, the France
kind of a half.
That's the other one. Yeah, right. I know. It's like a half wrap
180 degree. Something like, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a wide.
But they are still showing Impressions de France then too.
Yes, right? They are all going to be all.
Because I like that show. So
do you know which one you're going to get when you go, or is it like?
I would assume they have show times for them. Yeah,
hope so.
I would hope so. All right, so
thus in the character intrusion into Epcot continues.
Exactly. Well, that's kind of where they're headed.
Sailed, Magic Kingdom 2 is
it's just the way it is, which is interesting if you've been watching the Imagineering show. The irony of how they talked about how special Epcot was.
I told you that at the end of that episode. I literally had tears in my eyes at the end of that episode because of that very reason.
What it could have been.
Well, no, just because Epcot was... Now, look, the Epcot we got was not what Walt Disney wanted anyway, so you could argue that it stopped mattering out of the gate. But I mean, let's be real. The Epcot that was there before was a lot closer to what he wanted, which was sort of a blending of technology and
World Fair,
exactly.
and
Well,
people living and
then basically another Magic Kingdom, which is what he didn't want, another Magic Kingdom.
That was where they
World.
said something was said along. By the way, we're referencing a show on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah,
which
if you haven't seen it, go sign up and watch it.
Yeah, pay this $6 or $7 a month. Heck, there's a 10-day free trial. Or
if you don't want to pay for it, get the 10-day free trial.
Are out now,
and all the episodes are out.
Binge it for.
I'm telling you, I have obsessively watched and read everything that I could ever find on the Disney, company. I mean, I didn't think there was anything left that I hadn't seen. Saw, 50% of this stuff was mind-blowing. Yeah. I mean, the video was, they must have literally combed every inch of film that they have anywhere in the entire, they had footage that was just unbelievable.
Makes me sad.
It was so cool.
There may not be more.
And their interviews with the Imagineers are really good too.
The real, you're talking the original Imagineers, John Hench and Raleigh Crump, and I mean all those guys are all interviewed, and it's
Xavier
Atencio, Xavier Atencio, and Mary Blair, and I mean you name it, everybody. They had. Leota Toom's daughter on, giving you a tour of the Haunted Mansion.
Wasn't cool?
It was just. I mean, look, I'm hard to impress, especially when it comes to Disney these days. I was blown away. I cried more than once. No joke. I'm not embarrassed to admit it.
Goodness!
If you're a Disney fan and you watch the end, and I'm not going to give anything away, but you watch the end of the second episode, right?
I thought that was the first episode where
may have been
where they were talking about Walt after he passed.
Well,
there's a
spoiler.
Well, no, I mean, we can bring that up because today is the anniversary.
It's no mystery that he passed away.
No, I mean, today is the anniversary of his passing.
True, today is.
Today, yeah.
But I mean, if you watch the end of that episode and you're a true Disney fan and you don't at least tear up, you better have your pulse checked.
It was tissue alert.
Big time, rough. And I thought the thing is, it's just a never ending, because the next episode you get Roy Disney, and then the episode it just keeps coming.
And then hello. I'm Michael Eisner, chairman of the Walt Disney Company.
We need more characters.
We need more characters.
No,
but they show him today too, talking about, which is cool too. God, I would love to interview him.
There's a guy whose legacy has somewhat softened over the years, I think.
Yeah.
It has. You know what? I mean, if you look at it's almost two Michael Eisners, right? The point where Frank Wells left us and then Michael. I think I would love to talk to him about how things changed and how difficult it was for him, probably as an individual, where essentially you had your Roy to the Walt, and then all of a sudden just gone and trying to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, I always got the sense that he, and this happens a lot. I always got the sense that after a point he became a lot more concerned with sort of maintaining his position and his power base than he really was about anything else, and that's common. I mean, that happens a lot, especially in when you're the CEO of arguably the most important company on the entire planet. But he did a lot of great stuff,
freaking amazing stuff.
Oh, absolutely,
and set the company up for wins.
First of all, let's make no mistake, he saved the company from disaster.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. They were going to be broken up and sold off, and there would be no Walt Disney Company as we know it today. That's a fact. And if you don't know that, there you go, John. Thank you.
Yeah, what is it? It's not. You can't really see it that well, but Storming of the Magic Kingdom is one of the best books you can read about essentially about how this Wall Street, the Raiders, and the Battle for Disney, written by John Taylor.
And let me tell you, building a company, or no, that's the Roy Disney one. What's Eisner? Work in Progress. Work in Progress, which is Eisner's biography, also has a great section on that too. But it's but I mean, he had a great run early on. I mean, he just overstayed his welcome. Yeah, I have. You can't see mine. Mine are all.
What other Disney company? I've got Disney War over there.
Yeah, I got hey Disney War, in which my name is mentioned. You mean?
Yep. Yeah. The biographies, the Disney.
I'm quoted in that book. In case you didn't know that, Carolyn.
I don't believe you.
I am. I swear to God.
Why are they quoting you?
Because I was there.
He stayed in the castle.
No, that's not why. Because I was at the shareholder meeting when they revolted, and I got interviewed by the guy. Me and Tracy Lundquist, both of us are
Wow.
are quoted in that book. Yep.
Well, I gotta say that
Okay.
the thing that really sort of wrapped it up for me with that Imagineering show, it was like,
I've only watched the first 2 episodes.
I won't spoil anything. Just to say that the end of episode 5, I think, they just talk about how there was that big, huge tsunami and everything that happened in Japan, and how Japan is a very, it's okay, I'm not going to spoil anything, but just Japan is a very, like, you don't have your emotions on your sleeve kind of country. And they were saying, like, in any other country, you know, they would shut down, and eventually, like, the prime minister or the president would come out and say, okay, people, we've mourned and we will continue to mourn, but, like, let's get back to life and stuff. And nobody ever said anything like that in Japan. And it was really that when they reopened Tokyo Disneyland, and, like, hordes of people showed up because they just needed something, like, I just need something to take my mind off of everything we've been through. And that was kind of the thing that told people, like, it's okay. We're all going to be okay. And that had me like, ah! Anyway, because that was like a horrible, like, you saw the footage of that tsunami back then, and people's houses are just being plowed under, and and it was Disney that sort of brought people back to be like, it's going to be okay. So anyway, go and it's only 6 episodes for season 1. Hopefully they come up with a season 2.
I hope so. I would love.
I mean, I don't know how much. There's not really much story to tell.
I don't know, but I mean, like, they could do a whole episode on, like, the Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, let's really drill down on how we made this, and that kind of thing. Because when you do watch this show, like, when you watch this show, they might spend like 5 minutes on pirates, but, like, wouldn't it be cool to be like, okay, so then we decided to put in these guys because they play this point in the story of pirates, and I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
And then they could get to the part when they ruined
it. Yes.
Here we go.
And you can decide what point that was, because everybody has a different opinion.
Oh, I could tell you exactly when it was. When they put the line 10 for a hen in is when.
Oh, okay. That's fairly recent then. They did pretty well for a while.
Wait, here's my personal favorite. Shift your feathers, dearie. Show them your flock.
Yeah.
That's some quality writing right there.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I saw it, and never mind. Anyway, so here, let me get back. Here we go.
Moving right along.
All right, back to it real quickly. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So opening.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, they're at the same time. I guess soon they're opening Mickey's Shorts Theater, which is coming in March of 2020. Or no, the attraction, I think, is coming in
March. Yeah,
sorry,
I believe you're right.
I think the Mickey Shorts Theater is opening before that. We were speculating on where that would go. Ian and Carolyn, I think, were saying in the Star Wars Theater, the one that right now that's.
Yeah, what is it, from something to Jedi?
Yeah,
whatever that little movie thing is. Yeah, they don't need it anymore.
Right. So, bottom line is, looks kind of cute. The seats look like Mickey's pants. From the back, it's kind of cute. So go look up the picture online. But
it's just a theater to watch movies.
Theater to watch Mickey Shorts, which are the new shorts. And I think they may be even showing. They said it was going to be a short produced specifically for the studios. It may be the one that they end up showing, or that Mickey and Minnie are appearing in the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Okay.
So here's the deal. So we got a hard hat tour. We got to walk in what was the old entranceway to the Great Movie Ride. We got up to the point where you would have in the past go into this old, the old theater, right? Where you would stand in the theater, watch all the old timey movies that would be right before you actually boarded the attraction. So,
I love that part.
Right. So we clear the initial opening, then we are headed towards what I thought was, okay, well, they'll just have rethemed the theater, not remembering that pretty much they've torn out everything except for the lobby of this. We go into an abbreviated theater. So literally figure 30 to 50, 60 people, something like that, 75 people maybe standing in one room. You're kind of ushered in one door. In front of you, you've got a screen. It's not big. It's not huge. It's
would you say it's like the dinosaur pre-show where Dr. Marsh?
Yeah,
like
sure.
that?
Okay. Maybe even a little less deep than that room. Because what happens in that room, everyone kind of stands near the back, right? And nobody like walks right up to the front of it. Well, in this room, it didn't seem as deep, and this may just be my memory because I immediately gravitate to go right towards the front. Right. So you come into this room, and they start playing this short, which is I think it's Mickey and Minnie's Vacation or something like that, and it's got this song that you're going to be singing the rest of the day.
It's a small world.
It's an earwig. So I mean, definitely, it's one of those, and he'll be singing like Mickey, and he sings along, and I can't remember the name of the song, but it's that kind of thing, and you're going to be humming it because apparently you're going to hear this tune all the way through the attraction, right?
Okay.
So at this point,
spoiler alert.
Let's just tune out for about the next 90 seconds. Okay. You see Mickey and Minnie, they're driving in their car. Goofy comes along in a train as they're driving side by side out of their car. A pie flips up into the air, goes in the smokestack of the train, to which the train blows up, right? Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Tune out right now. At that point, there is a hole blown in the middle of the screen. And the gate that is where everybody is standing, like that's holding you back from going to the screen, completely drops away. I don't know where it goes to. The screen.
What if you're holding it?
It's
like a lean rail.
Cast members are going to keep you away from that part, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like they keep you away from the walls and the haunted
But the screen bends out, like it's got like as if it was blown out through. Yeah, and it's like that, and the entrance to the ride goes right through the screen.
Yeah, well, we knew that was going to be the case, right?
Totally cool. I had no idea.
I didn't know that, Ian.
I did. Yeah.
How did you know that?
They announced that when they announced the ride.
No,
it was part of the little. Yeah, they did.
They did not.
Yeah, they did.
Be a downer.
Oh my god. So anyway, I will say the execution on that part was amazing. It really was.
I don't know anything about how they did it. I just knew that's what they were.
Yeah, I don't know how but it totally cool. And that tunnel then going back, we were able to see back, but we weren't allowed to go in. So that's all we got to see. But totally cool. Didn't expect it. It's going to surprise a lot of people. And my hope is that the rest of the ride is as cool as it actually looks like. I think it's going to be kind of an updated dark ride, using, again, the trackless technology and putting you through not only sort of, painted surfaces and interactive things that are going on. I think it looks really cool. Just kind of a modern take on a Mr. Toad's or, Winnie the Pooh or whatever, that kind of thing. So,
Patty Stark on our chat here, she says that Mickey's Runaway Railway opens March 4th.
Okay.
Do you think that will alleviate any of the stress on Star Wars, or do you think no?
Yeah, not so much, but I think it'll help. I mean, it's something else to do.
Or is it just going to make Hollywood studios even busier? And
I think people will go and either while they're waiting for their boarding group or after their boarding group loads, they'll ride. I don't think it's going to have a dramatic change.
Here's what I will say. I mean, this is going to be something that I think, and hopefully it's true, that families will want to do over and over again. Mm-hmm. I think there'll be.
I would like to think so because as much as I loved the Great Movie Ride, and I did, right. It was so stale. Right. It really was. Like they didn't change that from the time it opened, which always really disappointed me because it was clearly an attraction that had that ability.
Right.
Like, I mean, all they did was
updated the movie.
That was, I think they did a couple times towards the end, but still, like, there were so many things that they could have done with that I think would have made it a very cool. Now, look, nowadays it's not really a studio anyway, so it's not as relevant with the whole story. But as when it was a movie studio tour, I mean, it would have been a no-brainer to just every year, close it down for 6 weeks and refresh one of the scenes. Maybe not the last one because that was a little too intricate.
Wizard of Oz, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it was a great ending, so I wouldn't want them to take it away anyway. But I just think
there were things that could have been done. I agreed, and I think that was a shame that they didn't do that. So, but that was the other thing on the Rise of the Resistance. I mentioned this to Carolyn, and just so it gets out there, the Kylo Ren audio animatronic in the one scene where he's talking. I don't know what the name of it. I'm such not the Star Wars nerd, but he's talking to the commander up on the ship, and he's saying to raise the shields, and I don't see any need to raise the shields, and then like 20 ships, of course, jump in to field of view, and they start attacking, and Kylo Ren suddenly realizes you're there, and he does the kind of thing, like spinning around.
Oh my gosh!
Like they're intruders. Yeah, you're going nowhere. I said to Carolyn, it totally looked like they reused the "I'll get you, my pretty."
Yeah, and I've watched it since then, and it's absolutely that animatronic.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they just tailored the story around the movies. They didn't have to reprogram the thing.
It just looked like it probably isn't, but the movement when the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my.
It looks exactly the same. That was funny.
So just one other thing from that, and we can move on. I stayed at Coronado Springs, and I really like what they did. I know a lot of folks have complained that they've taken kind of the Disney feeling out of some of the resorts with the refurbs that they're doing. But I'll tell you, I liked the clean nature of it. I definitely liked the solid surface floors. I love the fact that there was tons of workspace in the room, tons of plugs, tons of USB outlets. There was some Disney characters here and there in some artwork and stuff like that. It wasn't over the top. It basically made me feel like I was staying at a Disney resort, but it also made me feel like, okay, this is actually competing with other stuff that's out there now, being a business traveler and stuff, and going to hotels and seeing what brands are offering at this point. It made me feel pretty good about where things are. So I would definitely stay at Coronado again. That was rather nice. So really decent room and well done on the remakes. Speaking of resorts, Riviera Resort set to open tomorrow, December 16th, and INTERCOT actually will be there. John Hoyt will be doing the grand opening for us, so that'll be interesting to see.
Nice. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that.
Yeah, it looks cool. The outside, though, is not my thing. I have to be honest with you. I'm not really digging.
It's very plain. We were laughing, saying that it looks like Biff Tannen's. What is that place?
Biffco.
It's like the Biffco Resort or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Resort and casino. It kind of looks like that from Back to the Future. But the inside looks nice and from the pictures and stuff. So
I thought it was a tad bland architecture.
It's gray too, and so it's.
But at nighttime, it really lights up. Yeah, and there's a neon waterfall and weird stuff outside. So whatever. It's interesting.
Look, not particularly my taste, but I will say that I got to go in the Grand Destino Tower at Coronado Springs, and that's nice. And the bar up, is up further or wherever. I don't know what floor it's on or whatever. I can't remember at this point, but thought it was really nice. There's a lobby or a lower lobby bar, and then there's one that's up higher. Really nice, and definitely a place where we might want to check out during our Run Disney stuff. If we want to have like a little get together. It was nice going up there. So
speaking of the Run Disney thing, we may as well just say that now. We will be down there for Marathon Weekend, which is January 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. I'm going to show up the night of the 8th, but we will all be kind of coming in here, there, and everywhere. I'm sure you will see lots of pictures on our social media.
Yes, absolutely. Should be a fun time.
And speaking of things getting sort of an overhaul, Cirque du Soleil.
Yes.
Disney Springs, West Side. So they have, as you guys probably already know, La Nuba has been long gone. Yeah, I know. That's a W. What? We're flashing gang symbols now here on the podcast.
I can't do it.
But
anyway,
middle fingers. Okay, do like Spock. Spock is fine. So they got rid of La Nuba, and they have a new show that they've sort of have touched on. I know there was like a D23 thing that kind of talked about what it was going to be, but now they've got dates and prices and stuff. Opening spring 2020 is what they're saying, but then I clicked on where you can buy the tickets, and it looks like March 20th. They've sold out already, so I'm assuming that's the first day. Yeah. So we will get to the pricing on that in a minute, but I'll give you a little synopsis. The show is called Drawn to Life. Cirque du Soleil Drawn to Life.
Yes.
What is it about? Drawn to Life draws you into an inspiring world where Disney animation can be experienced like never before. Join us with your whole family and leap into a live acrobatic journey where our stage becomes a giant animation table. A courageous and determined girl discovers an unexpected gift left by her father, an unfinished animation piece. Follow her as these few missing pages lead her into the whimsical world of animation. Guided by a surprising pencil, she embarks on an inspiring quest sprinkled with her Disney childhood memories. Throughout this journey, she will learn to imagine new possibilities and animate the story of her future. So if you've ever seen any Cirque du Soleil shows, especially the ones in Vegas that are like the Beatles, or they have like a Michael Jackson one, they will have screens and stuff. There's going to be like snippets of different famous, like the Jungle Book. I want to be like you. It'll be good music. Yeah. It'll be good toe tapping music. And, Cirque du Soleil always does a good job of really freaky, like acrobatic stuff that makes your jaw drop. So it should be a good show. But who wants to guess what the price is?
I'll guess.
Okay.
$74.99.
Oh no! Come on now. I'm guessing $129.99.
Okay. Well, the prices vary, of course, about when you go, but like it opens March 20th. We're saying, and the first week the prices are $81 for the first.
That's pretty close.
That was really close.
Yeah.
I gotta say that seems like a relative bargain to me compared to.
It does. It's kind of like what you would pay in Vegas.
Yeah, that's what I was using.
It does say though. It says regular tickets are $79 up to $179.
Sure, you can if you want ringside seats.
Yeah, so it varies, but you can. I mean, the first week there are $81 tickets. So
right,
yeah. And
Not
you can go. There's a Cirque du Soleil website all about this, and they've got a lot of really cool pictures of the costumes and all the weird body twisting freaky things they do.
So I will say I like the concept for this.
Yeah, it's actually a Disney thing, which makes sense, right? Yeah,
totally. So I mean, I can see actually how this would work and would play really well with Cirque. Having seen a number of Cirque shows in Vegas and stuff like that. So some of them work, some of them don't. But I think I went to the Michael Jackson one, which I thought was horrendous.
Yeah, it was weird. The Beatles one is very good. I've seen it a couple times. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, totally. But I just, I thought anyway that this was a good idea. So
yeah.
Kudos.
La Nuba had nothing Disney about it. It just was just like another Cirque du Soleil random show, wasn't it?
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. I like it.
Yeah. So get your tickets now. We need more characters.
We need more characters.
John, what else do you have on your list there?
PhotoPass turns 15.
Oh, yeah.
So do you all use it?
I get it free with my
your AP, right?
My annual pass.
Do you use it though?
I've never printed anything, but I will. This is how it works. I go to the parks like however many times a year,
right?
And then I forget about that. All these ride pictures were taken. I don't usually stop for like, oh, let's get a picture in front of the castle or whatever. So I never really use those. I don't really meet characters often. It's just not I wouldn't want to stand in a lineup for it. So that's not really my bag of tricks. But the ride photos, I'll get the notification like, oh, you have pictures in your My Disney Experience that are going to expire, and I'll be like, oh crap, I should go and see. And just the stupid things that my family does on rides when they know that the ride pictures are coming up.
Right.
Like the whole family, when they know that the camera's coming up, we all turn away so we have a picture of like the back of our heads, or like stupid crap like that, like just ridiculous things we do. Yeah. Or like my son's new thing, when you go on like a roller coaster like Expedition Everest, everybody's like screaming in the picture. He has this a great ability when the ride is going. He knows where the camera is, and he'll look right into it and like do like a school picture, like smile, but like looking like right into the camera, smile, and everybody else is like kind of looking down, like and he's like, hi.
Yeah, we used to years ago when my brother and I used to go. This is before I was married and had kids. We always used to do. Like we would try and look as like completely disinterested as possible. Oh yeah, because everybody else was like, and we would always be like, just trying to look like really, really disinterested.
Yeah. So those are the kind of pictures. Like I will download those, but I've never printed them. It's just I have reams of like a folder on my computer of ridiculous ride photos because it's kind of funny to go back and see my kids as they.
So you actually download them though?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But okay. I mean, if that suddenly was to go away, I don't think I would go out of my way to purchase it. Or
I don't really use.
Ian, do you do them at all?
Nah. I mean, I look at them sometimes on my phone. I suppose if I saw one that was like, we do have one that is an absolute classic from Taylor's first ride on Expedition Everest that I did pay for, but I don't use them.
Yeah, I mean, the times that I've used them, when I've been an annual pass holder, is like if I have family there, like my mom and my dad and stuff like that, and we want to get a shot of us all together. It's kind of a nice way to do it sometimes. Mm-hmm. The other time that I use it is during the Run Disney stuff, actually.
Well, yeah, for that I can sort of
for that. Because
I've always looked at them, but I've been like, yep, that's me running and looking sweaty. I'm not going to buy that.
Again, there are times like for one of the races, and I wish I had bought it, I was coming through, I think it was one of the halves, and coming through Cinderella Castle and coming out, and I could see far enough in advance that there was a photographer down there. So actually, when I came through, I was kind of like, kind of posing a little bit as I was running, smiling. And it was a really cool picture, just me
and the castle.
Nobody that was that close to me, in front of me or behind me, and me in the castle just coming through the arch.
Yeah, that would be neat.
So that kind of stuff where you can get that kind of picture. I mean, sometimes when you're running, you want to memorialize the fact that you've done this. And especially when I got into early on doing half marathons, it was a pretty big deal. I mean, it still is a big deal, but I don't often do pictures now.
They have those new ones. Patty just mentioned it. The magic shots.
Yeah,
there is one.
Oh, in, the mega zoom kind of thing.
Yeah, there is one in Galaxy's Edge. They do them. I never know where the heck you're supposed to go to like do it. They have like a couple on Main Street and around, but basically the picture is like a GIF file. Or like a boomerang if you have that app on your phone,
right?
Where it starts in and it's like really zoomed in, nice up close with you and your family standing there. Geez, right. And then the picture zooms way out, and you can see all of Galaxy's Edge, and you're just like two little specks standing there, and then it like zooms back all the way into you, and then back out, so you can see the whole. Those would be neat, but I've been like, okay, I know that this is probably the area where the people stand, but there's no cast members here, and where would I go to find the cameraman? And like, so I never know how you're supposed to do those.
I have no clue either. So I've seen people doing that, but I mean, does it geolocate you? Does it?
I don't know.
How does it?
We'll have to figure that out.
How do you tell them to snap it? How does?
Yeah, or like, is there somebody standing there being like, okay, 3, 2, 1, smile?
Well, so yeah, I did the 360 picture thing in Galaxy's Edge that takes a 360 degree photograph of you, and you're like in the center, and it goes out. So Patty says you can ask.
But Patty, who do you ask? Like, just go into a store and be like, hey, chop, when do you come out here and go stand up there and take a picture?
I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll
have to find out.
So, there is a spot in Galaxy's Edge, which I'd like to do that, and then maybe we can post that. So
yeah.
Sounds like fun. Other stuff. We talked about the holiday overlays. Ian brought this up, actually, about holiday overlays of rides, and it even extended to bars. I saw where Jacques Lindsay's Hangar Bar has a Christmas overlay to it. But Ian, you were talking about a few more. What were the places that had them?
Yeah, so we were last week, I guess, actually, although it seems like
during your trip,
a lot longer than that. Yeah, last week we were down. We only did 2 days in the park because we were actually there for a wedding. But we did. So my youngest had never done a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So even though I'm not a huge proponent of paying an additional, $600 to get into a park that I already paid $800.
You have 800 kids.
We did the Christmas party. So it was interesting because I didn't know. Like, I've been sort of out of the Disney loop lately. I just haven't been paying much attention. And I didn't realize that they were doing these. So we were walking around for the Christmas party, and we actually had dinner reservations at Liberty Tree. So we did that. And by the time I got outside, it was dark.
Right. And
so we walked by the Speedway, and I kind of stopped and did a double take, and I looked, and it's all decked out for Christmas. I mean, there's all these Christmas lights and trees and, big displays. And I mean, it looked really neat. I mean, it was very, very, it wasn't like cheaply done with like a few, strands of lights. I mean, there were some really nice,
they have like a blow up Santa or anything?
No, there was no cheesy blow up Santas. I mean, they were all kind of legit decorations. It was really nice looking. And, so I was like, well, that's kind of cool. I'm like, I didn't know they did that. So then we went and did the parade, which, by the way, I can complain all I want about the price, but boy, is that parade just fantastic. Like, it is. I haven't seen.
This is the Christmas parade.
Yeah, the Christmas party parade. I haven't been to the last time I did a Mickey's Very Christmas Party, I think, was in 2013. So it's been a while. And man, I forgot how great that parade was. It is just so good. Like they just have like the floats are just really intricate and cool, and like some of the characters, like they even had Penelope from Wreck-It Ralph. Was like driving around in her little Penelope car, and
no, Vanellope. We're gonna get people angrily.
Yeah, Penelope. Yeah. Right.
Address your hate mail to Ian Mitchell at
INTERCOT.com. Yeah. Yeah, Vanellope, you're right. I knew that too. And Wreck-It Ralph is on a float, and I mean there was like definitely some pretty rare characters that you don't get to see, and I mean the floats are just great. The music's great. Like, it was really cool. And of course we were on Main Street, and it's snowing, which was like
snoping.
Really, yeah, it was snoping. Yeah, it was actually really funny because like again my two youngest had never done it before, so they were like, "Oh, it's snowing," and my youngest just sort of instinctively sticks her tongue out.
Oh no!
There's this thing, and I'm literally like right before I get to her tongue, I slam my hand over her mouth. I'm like, no, that's not edible.
It's not toxic.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want it in your mouth.
Mouthful of soap.
Yeah.
So like Christmas Story.
Yeah. So then we went off and we did we went on the Tomorrowland Transit Authority.
Yeah.
And we went through Space Mountain, and I'm looking and I'm like, what is this? So it was like all like just crazy like laser, like Christmas laser lights and like wacky like, crazy wild music, and it was all decorated for Christmas. I mean, it was just like way over the top. It was so cool.
Love it.
Yeah, it was really neat. Like, I mean, obviously they do the Jingle Cruise,
right?
Which they do every year, which is really fun too. We didn't get to do that because it was just the line.
Did they do it this year? I thought they didn't do it this year.
Oh, okay. They did it this year.
It's a Christmas miracle. Ian hasn't lost his Disney magic.
Go on it. No, you know what? I always say this every time I come back. Like, I grump when I'm not there, but then I go and like we have a great time and it was fun. You know, there was some stuff that I wish I had. Both we and Disney had done differently, but it was really fun. We did Epcot the one day. We got to see the candlelight procession, which I love.
You got to see the land Christmas overlay.
Yeah, that's another one. You're right. Thank you for that awesome prompt there, John. They do one now in the land, which is really cool because in the past, in the wintertime, the land would close after it got dark because you couldn't see anything. But now they sort of turned that into a big plus, and they decorated the whole thing. Which I think you posted a video of it, actually. Not the other
John did. John Hoyt posted a video of going through that. And it did. It looks really neat.
I mean, really cool,
it's just little
stuff. Is that just through the greenhouses? It's like they had lights.
Yeah. And honestly, I thought they missed a bit of an opportunity because there's a house in there, right? Which is like a no-brainer.
Oh, right. You could have totally put the Christmas lights up on the house. I thought that would have been kind
of a neat. They opted not to do that, which I thought about it a little bit because at first I was like, wait, really? Like, but then I was like, well, they didn't do it. They wouldn't be able to do it anywhere else. They're certainly not going to decorate like the Amazon rainforest, and so it probably would have felt a little bit.
I still would have liked it, but the thing, to your point, maybe because of the fact that I don't think you see this other than in those parties, right?
Correct. No, not at Epcot. It's that way all the time.
Is it?
Yeah,
so it's like that at night. Then I wasn't sure. Okay,
so
then I think it still would look okay if the house just for Christmas
had like a string of lights, and could they like put sort of behind the living room?
Well, what if they put like a Christmas tree, right? That's what I thought. It's exactly the same thing I thought. Would have been kind of nice. So, maybe they'll see how
Mickey. Like one of the inflatables out in the right
maybe
yard,
they'll gauge how popular
they sell.
Next year maybe they'll.
And then when you get off, you can walk through the gift shop and buy the stuff that was at the house.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It was nice. I mean, we saw Neil Patrick Harris do. INTERCOT consulting idea.
Yeah, that was an idea.
Did you see the message I sent? By the way, remember I used to talk about they should let you scan a barcode.
Disney Music on Demand.
They do that
now.
Yeah. There's a giant QR code.
Wait, what did you say? Scan a barcode for what?
So, do you remember I came up with the what we call DMOD, Music on Demand?
Disney Music on
Demand. Like
if
you were walking through the park and you heard a song that you wanted to hear, you would just like
Shazam
it. Shazam it, or is that? And they have a giant QR code, and you can scan it now, and
but
it'll
it doesn't take you to like iTunes.
I assume it takes you to iTunes, and then
but then you just buy the music right away.
It's custom Disney iTunes, in instance, you get the custom Disney music comes down. So I don't think you can get it unless you scan it in the.
Oh, okay.
Great idea. I wonder who had that.
Yeah, I don't know. You mail the royalty checks to
INTERCOT Consulting, Red Island, South Carolina. 29926.
So, but anyway, it was really nice. We had a good time. The parks were. It was funny. What Epcot on Wednesday was dead. I mean, dead. We got the after 12 passes, which by the way are kind of nice because it was really.
Yeah, that's
cheap.
Another new thing. You can get those, by the way, from the official ticket center.
From official ticket center, yes. Which, by the way, we didn't. That's because Trisha's a travel agent, and we get.
It's okay. We get that. Everyone else go through the link on the.
Everyone else go through the link on the INTERCOT page. That was kind of nice because it was way cheaper. I mean, I think we saved. I want to say we saved 35%, and we got there at noon, and like there was no line for anything. We got on Soarin' literally with like a 5-minute wait. We got on everything. We rode Test Track. We rode Spaceship Earth twice. I mean, we got on pretty much anything we wanted to. There was no lines. It was really quiet. Got busier towards the end of the day. Oh, I saw the new Epcot Forever.
Right.
So what's the general feel on that? Like what? I don't remember.
It's a filler.
Yeah, but what do you think?
It's like mouthwash after having illuminations to have you.
Talked a little bit about the the ending and the Aladdin song being a little bit weird, but
I think that's a little odd. The fireworks
are fine. Was odd. I mean,
it's
the fireworks were kind of underwhelming, I thought, but they were okay.
They've got some neat stuff. It's short.
Sort of like the kites, although I got to be honest. And again, I'll take. I mean, I just didn't. People kept calling them drone kites, so I sort of
They're being pulled by motorboats.
Yeah, which jet skis, which was a little weird.
It's not jet skis. They're actually boats.
No, they were jet skis. I mean, when I saw them, they were definitely jet skis.
Okay, I didn't remember that. I saw boats, but okay.
Well, they may have used boats at one time, but they were using jet skis when we saw them.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, it just felt a little odd to me. A bunch of people riding jet skis around a dark lagoon. Like, it seems like a great way to have an accident and kill yourself. But I don't know.
My guess is that they follow a pre-designated pattern, and that it's not as dangerous as it looks. But
I mean, it seemed a little low tech. Like, I was like, really? Like,
it is, but you know what? It's a neat effect. So I don't care how low tech the effect is. I mean, hell, Pepper's Ghost is pretty low tech effect.
They look good, but
it still looks good.
Being able to hear the engines was a little bit sort of distracting. Yeah, it was okay for a filler show. I thought it was fine. I mean, I was like obsessed with Reflections of Earth. So, in fairness, placement was going to have a hard time.
Yeah, my big complaint is I'm not cool with the re-recording of the music and so much of the kitty singing thing. And I think
that was an odd choice. I don't really know why they decided to do. I mean,
use the real music. Use the real music.
Yeah, I mean, I got to believe they can, right? I'm sure they own it.
They've got to own it. I mean, get somebody to mix it together and have some interesting transitions and Walt talking in between it or something.
Yeah,
or even
that's sort of where I was. I felt like I came away
it could have been more.
I mean, I know it's only a filler show, but it felt like it would have taken very minimal effort to like kick it up a couple notches. And Patty says she doesn't like the kids narrating. I thought it was a little, I don't know. To me, when you start trotting the kids out, it makes things feel a little forced to me.
To me, it's almost too sappy.
Yeah, right.
Like exactly. The show itself.
It's like they're trying too hard.
I think somebody said that was watching it along with me, and I don't remember who. It's like they've just reminded me of everything they've destroyed.
Right,
first
exactly.
of all, and now they're throwing in some sap on top
this was
of it.
A great attraction that you destroyed. Oh yeah, this was great. I love this ride that you.
But I mean,
Journey into Imagination, that was so good.
But the reality is, I mean, the fireworks as a show itself, the fireworks are nice.
It was okay.
The music's not bad. It's a transition piece. Again, we call it mouthwash. Just to like rinse. All right, we're going to do a new show. So, palate cleanse. Yeah, it really is. Maybe it sets the bar a little lower so that when the new show comes in, you'll go,
funny.
Wow.
It's funny you say that because I had that exact same thought, which probably tells you how cynical we've become about Disney. But
I don't think that's cynical. I think that's smart, actually. Really. I mean, because you're setting yourself up for a success, right? Rather than a failure.
Well,
like if you came in,
if you're setting yourself up for success and you deliver a good product, it's not okay if you're lowering the bar intentionally to save money on the next show.
When so much he's just Skyping people and talking.
No. I'm getting our next thing ready.
I'm sure you are. But the one thing, Ian. So what I'm saying is that imagine they had kicked it out of the ballpark completely with this show, and then they preview the new show. I can't remember what it's called now. The name's escaping me. And imagine that came along, and then it wasn't quite as good as the transition show.
If you knock it out of the park with the transition show, then you just keep it. What's the difference?
Well, yeah, but that's obviously not what they're doing. And
they've got 2 years instead of 2 months or whatever.
I just think it's smart. Actually, I think it's smart. So they've got a nice show that people come
your best foot forward all the time.
But I think they did do. So to that point, I think they did an admirable job. It's a decent show. The fireworks are decent. Is it the best thing I've ever seen Disney do? No, it's not.
No, but I was
bad.
predisposed to hate it. Like I was ready to hate it. I was ready to complain. Like I was ready to just blast it. Right. But it was okay. I mean, so I think me saying it's okay,
which means the average guest, it's passed probably their test, no problem. Yeah, and it's a nice nighttime show. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing what they really do.
The holiday show, the holiday fireworks show at Magic Kingdom was really good too. The castle stuff is just so neat. Like I know some people are down on it. I feel like it's sort of like taking the place of the fireworks, but man, it looks good.
I know. My only issue with that is it's so well. I think actually I did. I got a preview. Let me think.
I mean, there's this really cool.
I don't know whether maybe I haven't.
There's this really cool thing that they do where like they turn the castle into like this sort of like machine, with the old time the things that the spires are going up and down and they're like chuffing smoke out the top, like it's like almost like a steam train. I mean, it was really neat looking. They did it. That's really cool. I really like that a lot. That looks amazing.
I like it. It's just that you have to be framed on Main Street, like to enjoy those.
That I agree with you. If you're not, then you got a problem. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I mean, it's like Soren now. Carolyn.
Yeah,
Carolyn's either hiding a hickey or she's very cold.
Yes. So what?
No, I'm ready. Okay.
No, you have your collars.
Oh no, it's
very snug.
Yeah, it is.
It's very.
It's winter in Canada, and there's a nor'wester blowing in.
It's the Great White North, and it's winter, and it's snowing. So.
Okay, so it's Christmas time, in case you didn't notice by the tree over my
It's Christmas
shoulder.
time.
Can't see it now.
Oh,
There's
okay.
no need to be afraid.
There are lots of good treats coming to the park for Christmas. I'm going to tell you about the Magic Kingdom ones, and then we're going to play the time-honored game of guess which is the fake churro.
All right, cool. Because
that's what I've been working on while you guys were nittering about fireworks.
The part of Jason is being played by Carolyn. You got to keep the delicate flow.
She's managing the delicate flow.
All right.
Today's flow manager,
up top.
Carolyn Pongracz.
I'm on top of it.
You're on top of it.
I'm just going to go through the Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
Christmas time treats, okay?
Yes.
And we're just going to fly through these. So they have a holiday Mickey cinnamon roll at the Main Street Bakery. It's a Mickey-shaped cinnamon roll garnished with red and green icing and a white chocolate Mickey Santa hat.
Ooh.
I don't ever really like the cinnamon rolls at Disney. Do you guys? I feel like they're really dry.
They are. I don't like them either.
Really?
I think
Drenched in icing.
To me, I feel like they rip open a cellophane pack of them in the morning and pop them in the microwave. Like I agree.
Like when you go to Cinnabon and like in the middle,
it just is goo.
Is like goo, but the outside is sometimes hard and dry. I feel like the whole thing.
I don't know. I'm going to try it.
And they're like a little. I find them a little like not doughy is the wrong word, but they're like they're
kind of wet with butter and cinnamon. Like I want it mushy.
Yeah, no, I mean the Cinnabon ones where they sort of almost collapse under their own weight because they're so gooey.
They implode.
And I don't like the red and green icky things too.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway, so that you can get that at the Main Street Bakery and tell us if it's any good.
I don't know. I'd like to try it personally.
Snowflake brownie at Casey's Corner is a chocolate brownie decorated with sugar snowflakes and icing. So
I had one of those.
Not a fan of brownies.
What do you think of brownie?
I love brownies. Like I'm a brownie guy. Like I eat brownies. It was good. I mean, it was again
brownies with the ice cream are okay.
I like super fudgy. Like like I like fudgy brownies. When they're very moist and like this one was a little bit drier than I would have liked, but it wasn't bad.
Like it's been sitting on the counter for a day.
I mean, it wasn't. No, not like that. It was just like it wasn't super fudgy.
We need more fudge.
Carvel and fudge.
We need more fudge.
We need more fudge. Can someone go back in the fridge?
Call the fudge.
More fudge.
Oh no!
Where's
Joe
my fudge
Carvalho. Joe Carvalho said the awful
word.
No,
don't say the M word.
Moist.
He said the M word.
Oh.
Thank you, Joe, for that laugh.
Thank you, Joe, for ruining
which brings up the word of choice when we were at the Disney.
Oh, I missed, by the way. Shout out to Patty Sark because she said we love Ian like we love Grumpy, Eeyore, Cogsworth, or Sebastian.
See, there's a place for everyone.
So chewy. The word of the day at the Rise of the Resistance opening was that's really aggressive.
Oh, aggressive, yeah.
I feel like that. We feel the use of the word moist is really aggressive there.
Yeah.
You didn't really have to go all the way to moist. But I did have it, and it was
chewy.
Worth a try, probably, actually.
All right.
wasn't as moist as you would have.
I would have preferred
appreciated.
Not a brownie fan.
Fudgier.
Move on to the
Okay,
next
moving on. Christmas cookie milkshake at Anti-Gravity's Galactic.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
Now, what does this mean? A cookie butter milkshake.
Oh,
Butter milkshake.
I'm getting diabetes just listening to the description.
Topped with whipped cream and a Mickey marshmallow straw.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm trying it.
Yeah, that's good.
John.
Okay.
Get me one and freeze it. I'll pick it up when I.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. Wow. While you're at Anti-Gravity Galactic Goodies, you can also get a Christmas cookie sundae, which is cookie butter. What is cookie butter? Cookie dough? I don't know.
Is it butter or batter?
It says cookie butter, soft serve, topped with whipped cream, chocolate sauce, sprinkles, and a white chocolate piece. All right. Then we have at Storybook Treats gingerbread sundae. It's gingerbread soft served sundae topped with whipped cream, gingerbread pieces, and a Minnie Mouse waffle topper.
A waffle topper?
All right. This one's weird. Tell me if you would order this.
Okay.
Aloha Isle has a cherry and pistachio float, and it looks like red and green.
That's
I'm
a
not
risky
big
one.
on the. Are any of you big on the pistachio as a flavor?
I like pistachio nuts,
tea.
but I don't like the flavor, like ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah, do a John tries.
Yeah, which by the way, for people who are a fan of the John tries, I tried meatless meatballs. So be sure and look at that. By the way, we've been pushing more of our video out to the YouTube channel. So if you're a fan of what we do and you want to watch it on the big screen like Patty does, on your TV, now you can do it on our YouTube channel. I know we're only like 20 years late to the game, but whatever. So check out John Tries Meatless Meatballs. But yeah, I will do a John Tries at the Run Disney weekend. We'll find something. You guys can pick it for me.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we could.
We'll have to keep. That sounds like a challenge to me.
John tries the gum Carolyn picks off her shoe.
That would not be on the option list.
You said you would do it.
You did say that.
You said you would do it.
You said. You said. Okay, I got 3 more treats. Christmas
right,
churros.
Do
you guys
had me at churros
or Pecos?
Pecos.
Tall Tale Inn and Cafe. Mini churros topped with red and green sprinkles and served with chocolate dipping sauce. You can get something at Cosmic Rays called Deck the Halls, which is frozen eggnog topped with whipped cream, confetti sprinkles, and a chocolate bulb. And the last one at Sleepy Hollow is the Santa Mickey Waffle Sundae. It's red velvet waffle topped with mint chip ice cream, seasonal sprinkles, chocolate sauce, and peppermint powder.
No, with the mint.
I'm going to try the eggnog thing. That doesn't sound
The eggnog thing sounded good. The mint chip red velvet waffle, I am out.
I'm a little confused by that pairing. So what's our game? What are we playing?
The game we're playing, and you people at home need to play along too. Ready?
There is a delay, but go ahead.
Yes, we'll stall. Okay, so there are some new churros coming to the West Coast. We've got Disneyland will be round 1, and California Adventure will be round 2. I'm going to read off names of churros that they're serving. One of them is fake. You guys got to tell me which is the fake one.
Okay.
Understood?
Yep.
Okay. Disneyland. Here we go. Number 1, caramel and coconut churro. Santa's Cookies and Milk churro, toffee flavored churro, turtle churro, cocoa cappuccino churro, or sugar plum candy. I'll go through them one more time. We got caramel and coconut, Santa's Cookies and Milk, toffee flavored, turtle, which I assume is like the little turtle chocolate.
Chocolate turtle.
Chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Cocoa cappuccino. And sugar plum candy.
Okay, the first one is the outlier.
You're saying caramel and coconut?
Yeah, I feel like you just threw that on the list.
I'm actually going to go with the last one.
Oh, you are?
No, I didn't think so.
Sugar plum candy.
Really? No, that's.
Time.
I feel like
buy it.
That's legit.
She was like, sugar plum candy.
Maybe I'm just bad at reading.
Yeah, Joe says sugar plum candy too.
Yes, he does.
All right.
I don't. It could be cookies and milk.
RC says cookies
caramel
and milk.
Coconut, Santa's Cookies and Milk, toffee flavored, turtle, cocoa cappuccino,
Tuttle,
and sugar plum candy.
Tuttle.
Oh, turtle.
Captain Tuttle?
Cookies and milk. We got some different answers. Okay,
Yeah, I
you
know.
want to know the one that I
Wait,
tricked you with?
Wait, hold
We'd
on.
love to know.
It's the one that there's Tuttle.
Tuttle.
Yep. Okay.
Captain Tuttle.
So no, it's the
None
one.
of you.
Wait, hold on. Stand by. Got one
Wait,
laid
Patty
out.
says Coco Cappuccino.
Okay. Are
Okay.
you ready?
I think
Yes.
Patty was just playing the odds there. You know, she
Patty
bid
Stark
bid
is the
$1.
winner.
Yeah,
Coco
Oh, come
Cappuccino.
on.
Patty just bid $1.
I made that one up. Aren't I clever? Nobody knows what a sugar
That's
plum
what I'm
is.
saying.
That's-
Joe. Sugar
that's a good
plum is
point,
bogus.
Joe.
I did.
Yeah,
I was totally with you on that. Joe.
I'm not sure what a sugar,
Sugar
plum
plums
is.
kind of sound gross. Like a
Well,
plum.
I don't want
It's a plum that's been sugared.
I wouldn't even
Don't
eat a plum if you
understand.
paid me. Plum.
Sugar plums and gumdrops.
Plum on my thumb.
Plum.
All right.
Sounds
Round
like what you do when you're in your bathroom and you got a clog. A plum.
I got a plum.
Call the guy that plumbed. Oh, somebody in here who can plumb right
That's
now.
aggressive, John.
John, that was aggressive.
That is an aggressive
All
plum.
right, give us the California.
So gurgly.
That was great. That was a
That's
problematic flush.
It's aggressive and
It's
moist.
really an
That was
aggressive,
a moist flush.
aggressive toilet sound. It's really aggressive.
Can we please call this episode Plum the Aggressive Toilet?
Plum the aggressive toilet. Oh, boy.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Try
Okay.
it. All right.
Moving right along, people.
Okay,
I
round
would you call it
Right.
Tuttle. I mean, I would call it Tuttle.
Tuttle.
Plum.
Tuttle.
Tuddle the plumber plums the aggressive toilet.
Aggressively plums the
Sugar
toilet.
plum Tuttle.
Sugar plums the toilet. Oh, dear.
Oh
Yeah,
All
there's
right.
one.
Okay.
Next.
Round
Okay.
2, Disney's California Adventure. There's less choices this time, but
Oh,
one is fake. Here's your choices: peppermint churro, milk and cookies churro, strawberry candy cane churro, sugar cookie churro, and I can't say this, horchata churro
Horchata.
with condensed milk.
Well,
Yes.
that was not fake.
That one's real. Because
Yeah,
I would not have come up with that.
Right.
Or what is horchata?
It's like a cooking show thing. Only people on cooking shows know what it is. Like people on house shows know what shiplap is.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love shiplap.
It's the cooking show equivalent of shiplap.
Horchata.
So shiplap churro with condensed milk then? Mm.
Those sound very moist.
Okay, so those choices again: peppermint churro, milk and cookies churro, strawberry candy cane churro, sugar cookie churro, and horchata churro with condensed.
By the way, just for the record, horchata is a popular Mexican drink that is often described as sweet rice milk beverage. It's made out of rice milk, vanilla, cinnamon, served
Oh,
in
that could
many
be good.
Mexican
All right.
restaurants.
I mean, I might try a horchata.
I might
So
too.
why is it horchata churro with condensed milk? So it's milk with milk?
It's milky milk.
I don't know.
Rice
Maybe you
milk?
can make your horchata with condensed milk instead of rice milk.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't
Although
know.
for those of
All right,
you-
so you go run through our
Oh,
choices
wait.
one more time.
Peppermint, milk and cookies,
Mhm.
strawberry candy cane,
Yes.
sugar cookie, and horchata.
You pick first this time, John. I picked first last time.
Peppermint, milk and cookies, strawberry candy cane, sugar cookie, horchata.
I'm going with the crowd. That's so far I've seen strawberry picked 3 times, and I had the same feeling that strawberry was going to be the one. So that's
Yeah,
what I'm going with.
I thought strawberry. I don't know, because strawberry candy cane is just a weird. Like I never even heard of a strawberry candy cane. But I'm gonna go with Marcy. Actually, I thought peppermint sounded just too like not marketing. You know, like there's not enough words in that name. So I'm gonna go peppermint.
All right. The winner is everybody who said strawberry candy.
You
You
know,
guys don't have maybe that's a Canadian thing. Strawberry candy canes is like a candy cane, but they taste like fruity. They're not pepperminty.
I've had the fruity candy canes.
Yeah.
Like they have them in different flavors
That's
instead
what
of
I
being
was
peppermint.
tricking you with.
I actually like those.
I don't like peppermint particularly,
Yeah,
and I
I'm
don't
not
really like candy canes.
Although if you've had some garlic, it's good to have.
Yeah, I go with cinnamon.
Joe is asking where the sugar plug flavored one.
Joe, I'm not sure we can answer that
Back to
question.
the toilet.
That is impressive.
That's where it is. Go.
We need like a big 3 sign that comes with the cup of tea that just says progressive.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
That's where
John waits all podcasts to pray that he can use his sound effects bank.
I know. I finally found a use for it. It's good.
The sugar plum candy churro
Yes.
is the New Orleans churro cart
Mm.
at Disneyland Park. It says
All
it's
right.
sweet and tart churro. So there you go. All right, kids. Well, that is your end of decade churro game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The last churro game of the decade.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got a couple other things here, but before we do that, I'm going to give you my prime pick of the December month.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's December and it's the holiday season, dare I say Christmas? It's the Christmas season.
It's the holidays.
It's the season of Festivus. The
And
holiday for the rest of us.
you, Dickory Dock.
My goodness. Here, I've got two prime picks of the week for you. All right. And we'll have to put them in the show notes. And because I can't hold them up here because one of them's outside and the other one's in my collection of movies. So I'm going to give you a movie to watch and I'm going to give you a Christmas decoration straight from the Yaglenski family dancing holiday light spectacular, which is the show that came after the Osbournes. I bought all their stuff and shoved it in my the Jennings Osbourne.
What?
Jennings Osbourne.
Oh yeah.
The Oz.
I thought it came after the Osbourne.
No, not Ozzy and Sharon.
Sharon!
Gotta do some lights. No, I bought all their stuff and it's all in my front yard now. So anyway, I was looking for this. They stopped making this for a couple years. A really cool addition to put in the front of your house. It's called Light Flurries LED Falling Snowflake Light Projector. You can get it on Amazon. It was out of production for a couple years. They've now come back with a new edition that apparently is a little bit better. You can actually turn it off instead of unplugging it, which is always a good thing. And also they've got an LED light that shines on it. What it is it's essentially a big disco ball. And so you shine a light on the disco ball, then the disco ball projects what look like snow on the front of your house. If you live in Canada, you may not need this because you'll have actual snow. But if you're elsewhere, trust me when I say the kids love this. They're like, there's snow falling on his house and stuff. Like,
you'd be amazed that projects red and green Mickey heads on our house.
Okay, well, it's totally different. This is decidedly a little more low tech, but produces a great effect. And right now, I think they're about $30 on Amazon, which is amazing. They used to be like $50. So check it out. Cool way to make your house look like if you go with the minimalist kind of thing, too, with the white lights and stuff like that. This is a nice way to up your game just a little bit.
That's what we do. I should do that. What is it called again? It's
called Light Flurries.
Okay.
And there'll be a link in the show notes then when we do this, when I have time to do the show notes. So the other thing is I'm going to give you a holiday movie recommendation, a little bit off the beaten path, since we know Ian doesn't watch It's a Wonderful Life. I won't suggest that one, although he should watch that. And obviously, Christmas Vacation is a staple, A Christmas Story. The Christmas Story. Yeah.
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Right. I'm going to go with one of my favorite ones that I watched the other day. It's called Family Man. It's with Nicolas Cage and Téa Leoni.
Yep.
Yeah, which essentially is a classic storytelling on It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
And really cool movie. And it just, the little girl that's in there is absolutely the most adorable thing when she's convinced that the person that has come back into her dad's body is an alien. It's the funniest scene and she's adorable and she'll make you cry. But, definitely go stream it, whatever, buy it on Blu-ray, whatever. I mean, it's, all of about $8 or $9 or something like that. So check it out. That's my recommendations to bring a little holiday spirit to your life.
The little girl in that is somebody too, isn't she?
Did she turn into like some?
I swear
famous...
she turned into somebody.
It might be. I haven't looked it up recently, but
so I'm not mistaken.
Adorable.
One of my favorite actors is in that movie. Isn't that Don Cheadle in that movie?
Yes,
I really like him.
Don Cheadle and Jeremy Piven,
right? Jeremy Piven's in that too. Yeah,
in that movie.
Yeah,
too.
well, he's pretty amazing in everything.
And
I love Jeremy.
Leone is fabulous in that, and quite frankly, Nicolas Cage is even.
You know what? You've inspired me. I haven't seen that movie in years. I'm going to go track that down.
Go watch it. Like seriously,
is it streaming anywhere? I wonder if it's on Netflix. I'll have to look.
Might be. I can tell you, I busted out a couple Kleenex during that movie.
I remember that. Oh, Joe, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a Thanksgiving movie, not a Christmas movie.
No, it's a Thanksgiving movie.
That's a Thanksgiving movie. Sorry,
Joe.
To bring it back around to Disney, did you guys ever notice? Did you see the Spider-Man Far From Home movie?
Not a pick.
No. Ian doesn't do superhero movies.
Okay. Well, in that movie, I don't know if anybody noticed, but Jake Gyllenhaal's character has sort of like a computer nerd helper, assistant guy. He's a computer nerd. It is the guy that You'll Shoot Your Eye Out movie, the kid. Ralphie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's Ralphie from that.
Ralphie
nice.
Apparently went on to be like a director and stuff, and I think he's like assistant director or something on some of the Marvel movies, but he's in this movie. He's like the computer nerd guy. And he's got like, he's bald on top and has like the hair around the sides, but it's definitely him.
Hey, don't make fun of those bald on top guys.
No, not at all. Just but like with the
right, Ian?
I think of my grandpa's
Not me, hair. Man. I don't know what you're talking about. I got a little head of hair.
Little thin.
Thin is one thing, but it's not missing.
That's true. Good point.
It's still there.
We've got a couple other just really small things. One new Magic of Disney store at MCO. Have you all checked it out? Do you ever go in those at the airport?
I do, but the last time I was at the MCO airport, it was still behind construction walls, so I didn't see it.
Yeah, I just wonder. I've never really have ever bought anything.
I don't buy anything, but I walk
just
through
to kill some time.
Yeah,
usually I would only go in there on my way out when I'm waiting for a flight. Like I'm certainly not going to go on my way in when I'm like trying to get all I want to do is get to the parks. But I've gone in on the way out. I never bought anything, but
that's what I'm just curious whether anyone actually has ever bought anything there. It's the same stock.
I think
it's the same stock.
We may have bought something once from the Universal store that's there for a Christmas present to somebody that really liked Harry Potter because we didn't go to Universal on that trip.
Yeah, that would make sense. I could see that. I could totally see that. So anyway, that's open. Check that out. And of course, Frozen 2 is like killing it at the box office. I think the reviews basically said that they didn't take any chances. Ian and I haven't seen it. Carolyn, you're the only one who's actually seen it.
Yeah, I saw it.
What were your thoughts?
I like the first one better. The second one is nice because they don't have to take time to introduce who the characters are. They are just already in. And look at Oliver is saying hi. Hi, Ollie.
Hello, Ollie.
Oh, get down. Anyway, so it's
sassy.
I like it that way.
Aggressive.
Yeah, he is sassy.
It's really aggressive.
The thing that I found hilarious was there is a part. This not terribly a spoiler of any kind, but there's just a funny part where Kristoff is singing a song, but they do it in such a way that it looks like a 1980s rock video.
Oh, see, that would be funny.
And so, like, I don't know if you remember from like the 80s, but there'd be like the singers over here singing, but then they have like a picture of his head, like here, like looking the other way, like a close up of his face, like singing off into the distance.
Right.
Like
the split screen.
Like a split screen of his face and stuff. And it's just like a total rock ballad. So
80s.
Julianne and I were howling laughing during the movie at that. And then I found out later on, they actually made that song into a video with Weezer. And in the movie, it's Kristoff walking with Anna, and he's singing about Anna and his love for her or whatever. And in the video, it's Weezer, and he's walking with Kristen Bell. She dresses up for it, and so she's in a Weezer video, which she thought was cool. So you can even see that one, and they totally do like the cheesy 80s stuff in the Weezer video as well. So that was very funny. It's not, I didn't feel like it was that big of a story. It was kind of like a small little thing happened that took an hour and a half to deal with. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, and then, Anna is going to marry this bad guy, and then this happens, and Elsa's gone. Like the first movie, it's very smaller story than that, but it's good. You will enjoy it.
I felt like there was a no-win. Like, there's no way you're going to follow up Frozen, which, arguably was one of the greatest Disney animated movies of all time. Following that up with anything even approximating
Toy Story managed.
No, I agreed. I definitely agreed. It did, but that's pretty unique. Like
it is. Yeah.
And Incredibles, actually, I would argue probably did it as well, but it's not that easy to do. No. So the fact that they got it close to right to me is
broke records. So I mean,
it's still breaking records right now. It's
crazy.
100 billion or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth seeing, especially if you have kids. They'll love it. I mean, I've gone to the movies a couple times since then, and I see kids still going to the theater, and they're still dressing up in their Elsa costumes to watch the movie. So it's cute.
Very cute.
Yeah. My girls really liked it. I mean, they went and saw it, and they liked it. They're 9, so I mean, they're probably slightly maybe.
I'll probably wait till it comes to Disney Plus, but
yeah, I don't think I'm going to go see it. There's just too many movies out right now that I want to see. Like, I don't think I'm going to. It's probably not one I need to see in the theater. I want to see. Anybody see Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood yet? Not that that's
no. I'm afraid I'll go and cry the whole time.
I've heard mixed reviews about it though. Like, I don't know. I think some people didn't know what it was, so they were like kind of surprised.
And then I saw that Knives Out movie, which is like the murder mystery.
You know what? I got turned
Daniel
off from that
Craig
movie because I
movie?
saw too many previews for it. Like, it was just in my face constantly. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to see you because you're annoying me with all your previews. Like, everywhere I turned, it was like, Knives Out, Knives Out. I'm like, leave me alone. Like, was it good?
Actually, yeah. How was it?
I liked it. Mike liked it too. Yeah, it's funny and it's a real like kind of whodunit in an interesting way. The way that you sort of know who already did it at the beginning, but then it's like it's interesting. It's not.
I don't even remember what I just. I've been to the movies like 3 times in like the last 2 weeks, and I
oh
don't
god,
even remember
yeah,
what
I know.
saw.
I've gone to. What else did I just see? Oh God, what was the other one?
I saw the Christmas movie with the what the heck was it? The Last Christmas.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Surprisingly good, and it had a twist I didn't expect.
Oh,
so how about
like
that?
A romantic comedy.
Yeah, it's a rom-com, but it went in a different direction.
I saw
a little surprised. It was good.
I saw Midway, which, in keeping with my World War II buff theme, that shouldn't surprise anybody. And then I saw Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Which actually was really, really good.
Yeah.
I really liked that. Midway was, I don't know. I couldn't really.
Well, there's your movie review.
Midway was too Pearl Harbor for me. And then I know I saw something else, but I can't think of what it was. It just wasn't.
A lot of people go to the movies over the holidays, so there you go. There's our
holiday movie.
And coming out this week.
No, on.
Wait, hold on. I can do that.
It's kind of aggressive.
Yeah, I just have to play it.
They don't do that anymore for it, though.
I'm ready tonight, baby.
Yeah, it's got
that's Disney now because they own Fox.
It is.
Right. It's Disney related.
So when is this out?
Friday. Probably Thursday night, actually.
Yeah, we have tickets for Thursday night, but officially Friday.
There is on Wednesday. No, what the hell's today? The 15th? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wednesday. There is I think all the theaters around are doing it, but there is a marathon playing in the movie theater of all the Star Wars films.
Oh, really?
It's like 25 and a half hours of Star Wars movies.
Oh my goodness.
Like
Can't
it's like
imagine.
it starts.
No, thank you.
It starts
Sleep
with
through the first 3 movies.
It starts with 1, 2. Well, I'm unclear on where Solo will fall in it because I don't know when that. I guess that takes place after the end of the third
And
one.
do they put the other one?
Yeah, Rogue One. It'll probably be the first 3, then Solo, then Rogue One, then the original trilogy,
And then
the 3 new ones. And you get Rise of Skywalker a day early. So you could see it on Wednesday.
If you sat through 24 hours worth of movies, I think you deserve it.
I originally was thinking about doing it. I seriously was going to do it because I thought that could be kind of fun, but it just works too crazy, and I just I can't take the day off. So
I can't imagine. Plus, you'd be eating movie food the whole day.
Just do that at home.
And your bill would be like $300.
This is a fork and screen place where you could order real food, and
I got you.
And the tickets were actually it wasn't that expensive. It was like $20-some for the ticket, and they give you there's a 2-hour intermission when you can leave and go do stuff, I guess. So, but I can't spend 25 hours in a movie theater.
I'd be really uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, I don't even have my tickets for Rise of Skywalker yet.
Yeah, neither do I.
I'll get them, I'm sure.
I'll just go. It's not a problem around here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a problem around here either. I mean, maybe if you wanted, I probably wouldn't be able to get a Thursday.
It's off season at the beach, so I mean, it's.
Yeah. There are so many movies that I want to see out, which is unusual for me because normally I kind of don't. I'm not much at seeing movies in the theater, but I'd like to see Richard Jewell, which looks really good. I thought.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Considering I was there for the bombing, it seems like
one of my kids was born in the middle of that. I remember watching it on TV.
No, I was there though.
In labor.
I was in Olympic Park when it happened.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's a story for another time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get bombed. Let's put it that way. Although I did have a great idea to make T-shirts that said I got bombed at the 1996 Olympic Games.
Yeah, that would have
It's
been
not that great of an idea.
Yeah,
in hindsight, it seems a little tasteless.
Yeah, no, that's just not a good.
Seems a little tasteless.
Pretty terrible.
At the time, it seemed like a good idea, though.
Yeah, let's not do that.
What if it's like a beer?
Complaint letters can be addressed to Ian Mitchell.
That's what you call a double entendre.
INTERCOT.com.
Oh, okay.
Like bombed as in, excessive alcohol consumption.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the INTERCOT Insider Live. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in throughout the year. Go watch some of the new videos that we've posted over the last week or so on YouTube. If you're curious what the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is like or what went into the making of it, I interviewed the creative director for Star Wars, one of the chief ride architects, a few other things there. We've got merch interviews, a whole bunch of stuff, so check it out. Also, stop by Magical Journeys, yourmagicaljourneys.com. Go through them to buy your next Disney vacation. No additional cost, and they'll work really hard to get things done for you. Also, buy your tickets from the official ticket center. Patrick and crew, cheap tickets and no timeshares. So you don't have to worry about getting wrangled into a tour or something like that. So just buy the tickets there. Anyway, for Carolyn, Ian, I am John. Happy New Year, people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy
holidays. Happy New Year.
We'll see you at Disney in January.
That's right, you will.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye now. See ya.